We are on the grid then. The lights are on. Race 2 of the F1 Esports qualifying series is away here in Bahrain. And it's a good start from our pole sitter, the Flying Finn. And who's that in the Ferrari? It is Evo. And I think he's going to take the lead, Matt, going into turn 1. And he does as well. Good start there. And actually, Finn's going to try and hold it around the outside, going for out of turn 2. And he does defend brilliantly there. And you got to say as well, TR Limited still in there with a fight of getting up to second place. But Matt, clean start from the whole field, which is excellent to see.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You know, that means we've got all these guys still within a good shot, but Finn runs a little bit wide there. Evo might be able to look down the inside there. No, he backs out of that. Don't really want to be going for too risky moves in the early stage of the race. But yeah, Limitless is all over the back of the pair of them at the moment, so perhaps we could see a little bit from him. We got Bamley, Race 1's winner as well, up in P4 now, and it looks like this top 4 have almost made a tiny bit of a breakaway nice and early. With Danny M7 in P5, you know, he'll hope to try and cling on to those guys for now. Noble is in P6 after the start of the race, with STSF also on that set of the soft tyres. He's actually moved up positions as well there, as we've got the McLaren, I think, of EP3 Murphy and Coldhead going side by side behind. I think EP3 Murphy has just about moved up into P8 of the race for now there, so a little bit changing around throughout the field in the first lap of that race, but brilliant to see, you know, everyone was able to keep it nice and clean right at the very start.
Indeed, as at the back of Murphy actually is a Toro Rosso. He's going to make it too wide nearly down the straight, and it's going to be very, very close. I don't know who it is. We're just going to try and go on board. It's VBR Raikkonen, and he goes down the middle of both of them. A little bit of a risky one, that one, I've got to say. But he moves up to 8th place. I'm not 100% sure who that was. I'm going to guess it's Icebergs. I think it is. No, it's not.
I think it's EP3 Murphy, if I'm not mistaken.
EP3 Murphy, and he did get overtaken, unfortunately, from Coldhead and the Williams, so he drops to 9th. But as you said, there's some good battling up and down this field. We would focus on the leaders, but there's some good action in this one, as the Williams runs very wide, and Murphy's going down the inside of Coldhead, and there's a little bit of contact between the two of them, and that's going to help the Red Bull trying around the outside, going into the double left-hander. But EP3 Murphy back up there as the Williams locks up there, going very wide, and unfortunately he's going to lose a couple of positions there as another Red Bull loses it in the background there as well. So a little bit of a shaky one for these midfield runners, Matt, and obviously most of them, as you can see, are on the soft tyres.
JD is 1.1 seconds off the Flying Finn at the moment, so this top 3 very, very close. Bamley seems to try and be reining it back in to the top runners at the moment, and Danny M7 looks to try to just about cling on to the top 5 for now. Going to be interesting to see when these top runners all do opt to make their first pit stops. It shouldn't be, you know, sort of 3, potentially 4 laps away now if they really try and push this set. But Danny locking up just a bit there as he goes down into the hairpin. Those tiny little mistakes in the long run can really, really cost you.
Indeed, you had a beautiful shot of the helicopter there of the circuit looking down on these guys, and from the overhead shot you can just see how close all these guys are. Surely he's going to be coming into the pits. He has to react, and he does indeed make his way in. He's got to be so careful here to get that limiter down to 50 miles an hour, and he does that easily there as the Ferrari mechanics are out. And what is he going on? He's going on to another set of mediums there. So the leaders going for the same strategy here, and it's a good stop from Ferrari. It is, and he's out and away as Alonso will carry on. Of course, he will lead the Grand Prix, and someone else has jumped ahead of him there. I'm not too sure who that was. I think it was ESR Ryan up into P2. And where is the Flying Finn is the question. He's coming down the straight, and I think, he's actually just got ahead there of Evo there. So Evo just holding on there. There's a battle going on behind though. Kinky and Bam Lee, and I think Bam Lee's going to get the job done here on Kinky, who has not yet stopped, remember, in this Grand Prix. He's going to try and go down the inside. He does indeed, late on the brakes, and gets it done, and he moves up to P6 there.
Potentially that the undercut can be on this game, as we see the EP3 Murphy in the McLaren make a little bit of a mistake as they go through the double right-hander.
Just got to come in quickly there, Matt. We've got TR Limitless going side by side with Danny, and he's got Kinky as well. This is not a great position for Kinky to be on, as Tilt Limitless goes down the inside and will move up to P7. The race leader. Then we've got Coldhead, who's holding on to the back of Danny, who's actually made a pit stop. His second pit stop there onto the medium tyres. He's going to go down the inside of the Williams of Coldhead, and he's going to get it done. It's going to be very close, this one, and there's been a little bit of contact, I believe, there. Coldhead loses it, but Ryan goes up to P8 there. So we'll have to wait and see if there may be a stewards inquiry with that one. We'll have to wait and see, as Icebergs in the Toro Rosso holds on to that final points-paying position. And because of the issues that Coldhead had with Danny, Icebergs could get 9th here. pray that his teammate for this race can maybe help him out a little bit. He is a lap down, is Nopals, so we'll wait and see. He's come out on the, I think he's on the super soft tyres, so he's going to maybe get into some bother really with these leaders of Evo and maybe the Flying Finn if his pace really picks up there. So he's going for the 2-stop, is Nopals, and let's see if he's going to get past Evo and Flying Finn here, which could maybe bring Lee and Limitless back into contention here. We will have to wait and see, as we've only got, what, 7.5 laps to go here, so anything can happen. The gap's 1.5 seconds for Evo to catch up to the Flying Finn. And I don't know if you can see it as well, Matt, but Evo just came out of yellow fuel there, which means he must have been burning a lot of fuel, because he must be trying to start. He's actually gone back in again. He's really going for it. He wants to close that gap down. He's actually got it down to under a second there, so he's back in DRS contention.
Yeah, he's really pushing now. With the DRS as well, that gives me a tiny bit of a boost. And although obviously we want to see as much action as we possibly can, we sort of hope, if Evo is being able to bring it back, we sort of hope that Nopals does sort of stay behind him, way Lee a bit. You know, Lee would certainly not be happy with that, but Nopals, he's done quite well, you know, being caught up in between these guys. Oh, you're talking something?
Yeah, he just ran a little bit wide though, so I think his super softs are about to maybe blow up on him, the term of a puncher. That looked a little bit off there, but I've got to say Evo's closed the gap down to 0.6 of a second. He's not given up just yet of a chance of winning a race in this F1 Esports series right now, and he's going to give it everything he's got to try and win this race. And it's basically between the top two, second race in a row, Matt. This is what we want to see for the Xbox leagues again, living up to high standard again.
Yeah, they're all, you know, all these guys are so quick. You know, it's easy to say that, you know, Noble, one of the best ever races we've seen, he's down in P5 again. You know, it really does show how quick so many of these guys are in this series. You know, all of these drivers very quick, you know, within sort of the top 1% of the Xbox players on this game. But Lee and JD, just give a little update on the gap. The gap is still just 1.1 seconds. So if JD, okay, he's actually got DRS there, sorry, so he is within 1 second at the detection point.
Evo nearly into the back of the Flying Finn, but this is the closest he's ever been right now between the basically the battle for the win here, and Evo's very close, and this is the closest he's ever been, and this is a great opportunity with 2 laps to go. Can we see a last lap overtake that we saw on the PC side last week in China? Are we going to have 2 for 2 last lap overtakes? We'll see. If you want to just keep an eye on the battle for JD for a minute, Matt, that would be fantastic, and we may jump over across there. But the gap here, the closest we've seen so far in this Grand Prix, just shy of 0.2 of a second between the two of them. And we've got a ghosted Toro Rosso, which is not going to help the Flying Finn out, especially through that double left-hander, and avoid. Well, thankfully the Toro Rosso is a ghosted car, so both of them can get through cleanly, as you can see right there. And you've got to say Nopals is doing pretty good well to hold on to those super softs, and he's keeping a gap to JD and Bam Lee, so I don't think he's going to have a say in the battle between there, as the Flying Finn runs very wide out of the corner and just lost the back end a tiny bit there. But this is the battle right now, and is Evo going to try and go for a lunge in turn 1 on the DRS straight? We'll have to wait and see as they both start the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Who's your money on, Matt? I have no idea who to go for, as Evo has the DRS here. Is he going to get it done, Matt? We're about to find out. He's going down the. He's going to go around the outside potentially. Is Evo? They're going to go side by side, but Finn holds him off, brilliantly defending right there. And this is going to get very tasty, Matt.
Yeah, he's certainly. Finn having to park it on the apex of turn 2 there, just to try and hold on to any sort of advantage as he has at the moment. Evo goes for a little bit of a cheeky dummy there through turn 4, and Finn, Evo, just makes a tiny bit of a mistake out of turn 4. He'll have another shot with the DRS, and then a brilliant chance down in towards the final corner of this whole entire Grand Prix. To update you on the Limitless situation, when I last checked, Limitless has actually dropped back. He's got a puncture, does TRL Limitless there. Absolute shocker for him. Noble moves up into P4 of the Grand Prix, but as we said, you know, these guys had to watch the rear tyres there, and Limitless,
he's lost it. He's lost it.
He's completely lost it, but I think, you know, we need to focus still on the 2 race leaders, because this could happen to the pair of them as well. You know, Evo has that 1 lap advantage on the tyres at the moment, but Finn, he pitted on exactly the same lap as JD, so his tyres could go at any single moment as they move on to the final couple of corners of this Grand Prix here. Will Evo be able to get a very good run down in towards the final couple of corners of this Bahrain Grand Prix? He thinks about it, tries to get as close as he possibly can. Down in towards, through the final corner they go, and now down towards the line. Finn started to celebrate just a bit there, but Evo still with the DRS, but Finn comes through to win the Bahrain Grand Prix there and immediately runs out of fuel straight as he crosses the line.
Fair play to Finn. He needed that crucial win for his hopes of qualifying. Noble comes home in 4th, with Bamley coming home in 3rd position, as we see Alonso coming home in P5, which will help him in his quest to qualify for the semi-finals. A great one. He goes into the wall. He's happy with that, as he has a great crash there down the front straight, which of course we don't want to see, of course, as Ryan comes home in P6, as he's done a pretty stellar job as well to get that one across the line. As we're just seeing Kinky, he's got a battle actually with Coldhead, and he's going to try and hold on for P8 here, so this could get tasty potentially. With only one corner to go, Kinky's about to run out of fuel potentially. Hopefully he's saved enough fuel to get over the line. It's going to be very close. He's going to jump on board with Coldhead, and he's going to just miss out on P8 right there. And the Icebergs will come home, and he's going to get 10th place, as he's ghosting unfortunately, so he had a little bit of issues there, and he's happy with that. He gets 1 point on the board, and EP3 Murphy comes home in 11th place there. But what a race that was to showcase once again, and the Flying Finn, I've got to say, start to finish, brilliant drive.
Absolutely incredible from Finn, and although we know some of these guys have still got places thanks to the other esports qualifier events, they'll still want, even for bragging rights for some of these guys, they'll want to try and prove that they are the very best in AOR right now. And Finn, we've said it so many times before in the past, he has once again been able to win a race.
Indeed, as the champagne flies, the Mercedes boys, look at them, they're happy.